Good morning. So today I wanted to share my experience with meditation over the last year and talk about some of the stuff that I learned from it. So I'm making this because I think meditation is one of the most important habits that has changed my quality of life for the better. Over the course of the year, I've come to see meditation as a way to really dig into my inner mind and also try to stay mentally stable. But let me give you some context here. Why start meditation in the first place? So I was a very, let's say, anxious child, or more, I was having I can't say that word right now, existential crises at like the age of 7. And then when I was older, around middle school and high school, I experienced a lot of anxiety and panic attacks. As I shifted into adulthood, that anxiety started to shift into more pressure from society to be the best, most productive person that I could possibly be, which ended up having the complete opposite effect because I was having too much anxiety to deal with it. It also doesn't help that this year has been a fucking disaster, honestly. I mean, I don't understand how else I can say that. So being able to completely remove ourselves for at least 15 minutes every morning, I feel has become essential. I guess because with everything that's out of our control happening right now, at least we can control our own thoughts. So being able to set aside time every day to meditate has helped center me so much in all of the chaos that has been going on. So now let's move on to how to make this a habit that actually sticks, because that is something that is more important than I think we realize from the beginning, because we have to approach it in our own individual way to be able to want to stay consistent with it and to be able to discipline ourselves. So it's almost like finding that happy medium in the middle of wanting to do it and keeping yourself disciplined, and then the consistency will come if you're not bored with it and if it's not too challenging to the point where you don't want to do it at all. So I think my number one recommendation is not putting too much pressure on yourself from the beginning, and honestly not putting too much pressure on yourself at all. Be that how long you're meditating, what type of meditation that you're doing, because honestly, the right way is whatever works best for you. It's what's going to get you to sit down for not even 15 minutes. It could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or an hour. Whatever you feel like you need on that given day, do that, because then that's gonna motivate you to want to do it again the next day. And when it comes to what type of meditation that you want to do, that's honestly up to you as well, because we all have different goals. So are you trying to calm anxiety? Are you trying to figure out what you want in life? Or maybe you just want some silence to honestly just sit and think. Maybe you don't live in a situation where you have a lot of time to think. So maybe waking up an extra 15 minutes every day to sit in silence is the exact type of meditation that you need to be the most productive version of yourself. So what I started doing from the very beginning was meditating first thing in the morning. So when I first started, I was doing 30 minutes every day, and the exact process would be I would wake up, leave my phone on Do Not Disturb, and start my coffee, wash my dishes, and then pour my first cup of coffee, sit down, and meditate. And once that's over, that'll be the first time that I check my phone. So what my meditation usually consists of is breathing exercises that were taught to me by the Wim Hof breathing techniques. So I would definitely recommend that you research that on YouTube. So other than my breathing, when it comes to, I guess, what my goal is with my meditation, it's usually just me trying to quiet my mind, but I also like to recite affirmations. Some days I just want to go down the little trails or rabbit holes or whatever you could call it of my thoughts and see where that takes me. It honestly depends on how I'm feeling right before it. I'll try to figure out what I need to work on the most, and usually it is focusing on my goals, my affirmations, and trying to quiet my mind because that keeps me from having more anxiety later in the day. So reflecting on the changes and I guess my overall experience over the past year, I'll definitely say that I didn't realize initially how much of our own problems are just created by our internal thoughts, meaning that a lot of the things that give me anxiety in life or gave me anxiety in life were created in my own mind and they weren't actually reality. And that was a really, I guess, tough pill to swallow once I really started to realize that, because I think our mind always wants to create the worst case scenario out of everything, and I've never had the worst case scenario actually happen before. So being aware of that has helped a lot, especially just in daily life. Another really fascinating thing that I experienced was how incredible our little thought trails are. So with that I mean, during some meditation sessions, I just take a thought that I have and just go with it and see what happens. And doing that has actually unlocked a lot of creativity, I guess, that I didn't know that I had, as well as helping me realize what I really wanted in my own life, which might seem kind of bizarre. You know, you're just sitting down for 15 minutes and coming out of that 15 minutes knowing so much more about yourself. And because I am not experienced or qualified enough to tell you how to meditate, that's the very reason I want you to do your own research. And like I've said before, how you go about it is honestly up to you, because we all have different goals, we all want different outcomes from it. So we just have to try things, experiment with it, and you'll know when you find the method that is best for you. So again, what's the point of doing all of this? I mean, this is our realities, so I think it's very important to peel back the layers of our minds, if you will, and really dig into our core thoughts. And I seriously think the world would be a drastically better place if everyone just meditated, which is why I'm making this video. I'm hoping that by doing this, it will plant that little seed in your mind and it will grow into something wonderful. As I've said, I'm definitely no expert, but I am very satisfied with the experience that I've had over the past year with this, and it will be something that I hope to stick with for my entire life. So with all of that being said, if you have any questions or comments, please ask them down below. I'm also curious if you know of any resources that you would recommend to myself and everyone else. So if you do, please put those down below. And with all of this being said, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.